There are a lot of things that really need to be cleaned up and improved upon before Civilization becomes a great game.
I gotta be honest, I still don't know how I feel about the age transitions, and I feel like many people are gonna share that sentiment.
Long story short, a new flavor or variant of Civ that may or may not be for you.
They need a boomer option for Cohh. Yeah. Maybe that's what it comes down to. Maybe they just need a boomer option for people like me. We are here today with Civilization 7. I am very glad we took a look at this because I've had a lot of people tell me what I think about, or ask me what I think about this game. Final thoughts on this game. Not really what I was expecting. I don't tend to do a lot of research on them beforehand because I want to experience everything in game. I also don't want to be tainted by what everyone else is saying and come in with expectations. So that being said, I'm a classic Civ player, and I came into this without having played it for many years on expecting like an extra version of what I played in the past. What I can say is after playing it for a while is that is not what I got. This is a different version of Civilization. So where I was kind of expecting the previous Civ games I played way back in the day to kind of like iteratively build on to being like probably more complex, more information, more UI stuff, I feel like this actually went in the opposite direction, where we're seeing a lot of mechanics made for more general gameplay. We're seeing a lot of stuff that used to be where there used to be more information given to the player, now there's less. And I'm thinking to keep things more streamlined. There were a lot of things in it I wasn't expecting. It was much more gamified than I was expecting, especially when I was looking at like the ages and seeing like if you get a what was it, like an age token or whatever they were calling it, like it was definitely interesting. It feels like it's much more designed for players that haven't played the older Civ games. There's a lot of legit stuff in this. It looks pretty, the music is good, the voice acting seems good when it's there.
The fair breeze blew, the white foam
This is voice
flew,
acted?
the furrow followed free.
I am baffled that they voice acted this stuff, but not the tutorial. That's wild. Like, there's some good parts to this game. I will say I feel like I'm wrestling with a lot of the classic Civilization features though. This is, as somebody who hasn't played Civ in years, this is a very different experience. It feels much more streamlined. I feel like I'm missing a lot of the information that I'm used to. Where is the UI feedback that I have engaged the healing order? I don't see like a healing icon. I don't see like, how do we know they're healing? And I feel like I'm wrestling a lot more with the system than I'm used to doing in these games. I feel like they tried to streamline some of it, and by doing that, it has lost some of what makes it Civ. So, this may just be coming from somebody who hasn't fully understood the system and everything yet, but the simplification feeling makes it feel like I'm missing things. Like the fact that there's no combat log every turn. That's mind-blowing to me. So wait a second, when there's like combat damage and stuff like that, there's no notifications? It doesn't like zoom to the fight and tell you what happened, and there's no like post-turn report? That's mind-blowing, because I remember my Civilization games that would take like 3 to 8 hours back in the day. I'd have entire maps covered with units, and it's like, am I really expected every turn to look over the entire map and just remember like who got attacked and who didn't and stuff like that? Like, that seems wild to me. That's like, I don't understand that. I don't understand that. My mind wouldn't be able to keep up with that. So yeah, I like it that kind of stuff. I don't really get it. I don't understand how the decision was made to not do that. And also, the thing that's also a little surprising to me is like, there's been a huge amount of promotion and everything for the game. Like a huge amount of promotion. They sponsored the entire PC Gamer Showcase. But like right at the start, I was getting weird bugs with the movement not showing right. And that doesn't, again, it just feels a little weird. The waypoint and movement system seems wonky. Like I don't quite understand why it doesn't like change the path when I tell it to. I'm not really, it doesn't make a lot of sense to me. But I will say presentation is solid outside of like the simplified UI. So it's moving in some good directions, but yeah, there's some of the parts that I would say are core components of Civilization seems to have been moved a bit. The goalpost has been moved a bit. Yeah, but maybe that's the point. Maybe the whole point is that they're trying to simplify the game to get it to a broader audience. This is a decision and a direction to take the franchise. And I have to say that, like, I'm not sure my current thoughts on if it's better or worse. As somebody who really loved the old style Civ games, it's very clear this is a different flavor. But yeah, so that's kind of where we're sitting with it. It was interesting. It was interesting. I will say that there are some features missing from that really, really confused me. More in the aspect of, like, what is the perspective that the devs are thinking by not doing this? Like, maybe they didn't want the player to be overwhelmed. Like, maybe they didn't, like, I'm not sure, but that kind of stuff had me very confused. Also, to put it bluntly, I was a little surprised by some of the bugs. Like, especially the click to move bug. Like, I'd argue like 50% of this game is clicking to move. So to have a bug in that system, one that was like so overt and like right in front of you, that's weird. That's like one of those things where it's like, you can't, like, how is that missed? I don't understand. That's very strange. And then the other thing that was really weird is, like, some of the systems just didn't feel really developed. Like the narrative choice, a lot of times they weren't choices, and they just felt like they weren't at any part of the game. They were just like random bonuses that had nothing to do with what you were doing, that would just pop up with no real explanation of why they were there, what they, like, I don't know. Again, and that kind of ties into the more kind of homogenized general feel, but not what I was expecting. Not what I was expecting. But obviously, you know, a lot of people are buying it, so maybe this is the kind of thing where it's the right direction for this to move. It was not what I expected, and it was fine. I will say that I do feel it needs some updates. I can't play that. I would not play that game without an end turn summary. That alone is like a deal breaker for me, unfortunately, because I know the more I play the game, the more frustrated I would get if I were to miss things. So, and I have enough trouble playing those types of games if I don't miss anything. So let alone if I'm actually missing things. That for me is a deal breaker. But that's, you know, obviously something they could put in, or maybe it's an option I could have, you know, added in, or I don't know, whatever. Firefacer says Civ has never had an end turn summary. I have to, like, I vaguely remember there being more notifications on attacks and stuff. I remember like whenever something would happen, I would be able to easily tell what happened. I didn't get that in this one. So, and keep in mind, I didn't play any ones recently. So, like there was a log or something. I don't remember the exact things, but I remember being able to easily and intuitively know exactly what happened so I could plan for this turn, and I did not get that feel in this game. So maybe it was just something else, but yeah. Anyway, I gotta go for now. I'm gonna be back a little bit later. That was a good look. Thanks for being here. Appreciate your time, and I will be back. See you guys soon. Thanks for being here. Bye-bye.